Welcome to the monthly board wrap-up show with Superintendent Shelley Arrott. I'm Sean Anderson for Ponca City Public Schools, your host for the board wrap-up show, and this is for the January Board of Education meeting. And Shelley Arrott, here we are, 2020, brand new year. I know it's hard to believe, right?
It is.
Well, it was a fantastic winter break for Ponca City Public Schools, and of course, school back in full force for the winter and spring session. And the Board of Education meeting for January started as it always does with awards.
Yes, we love doing the board recognition awards. We recognize a certified employee. That would be a teacher, someone who has a teaching certificate. We recognize a support employee, and then we recognize a friend of education who is a volunteer. And this is always a highlight of our board meeting. The certified employee of the month was Denton Long, and Denton is the principal over at East Middle School, just across the street. And Denton's been with us about 4 years. He's really grown, but what's so unique is prior to the board meeting, it's not a surprise. We have to get them here for some reason.
Right.
So we go out to the sites and present the award. And Mr. Layton went over to present the award at East, and what was so special about it, I mean, he had no clue. He told him some lame excuse about why he was there, but after he presented the award, all the teachers came up and gave Denton a big group hug. And I thought,
Wonderful.
that was so sweet. So they were really excited for him to get that. He's really grown as a leader in our district. The support employee of the month was Doug Spicer. Do you know Doug?
I do not.
Doug actually has worked for us for many years. He's in transportation, he's a mechanic, and he also drives a bus. He spends countless hours.
Wow.
A lack of bus drivers is a real issue in the state. So we appreciate all of the work that he does. And then our friend of education was the pie partner for Trout Elementary Quality Water, Kelly Johnson. And I've told you this before, we could not make it without our pie partners. Our community and our pie partners are so good to support our students with anything, any need we may have.
Fantastic. Well, it is always a fantastic way to start any Board of Education monthly meeting. And before the meeting progressed further for the January board meeting, it was time to recognize the Board of Education members who give so much of their time.
An amazing amount.
This is Board of Education Month, Appreciation Month.
It is National Board of Education Member Appreciation Month, and I will tell you, our sites went all out. They had goodie baskets, movie baskets, homemade goods, adorable, well-written cards, letters from our students. I mean, we had a table in the boardroom that was full of loot for our boardroom. They had pies. They had everything. Everybody went all out. But we have an amazing board, and you said it. They give countless hours, and it is volunteer work. There is no pay. We told them we were going to double their salary this year, which is to nothing.
Right.
But they spend countless hours. They're so good. They question. They have great ideas. They help me grow as a leader. They're just a pleasure to work with, and they truly have the best interests of our students, our community, and our staff in mind. And I'd like to share just a little bit about each of our board members if we have time. Our current president is Mr. Robin Riley, and he is actually represents Ward 1, and he was appointed to the board in 2012. We had an opening, and so we could make an appointment because it wasn't time to file, and we needed the board member. And he actually is currently serving as the president. This is his second time. We kind of do a rotation on our officers on who leads the board, but I've told you before, we have committee meetings prior to the board meetings, and we go over every little detail. Mr. Riley serves on the finance committee, and our budget report is sometimes 200 pages long, and he reviews it line by line. He also serves on our property committee sometimes as well, so he fills in for that one. He's a Pohigh graduate. He has a grandchild that's in Ponca City Public Schools. He spends hours reviewing and questioning. I bet I text with Mr. Riley every single day. He really has the best interest of our students at heart.
Yeah.
So, next, I want to talk about Don Newsom. He is our longest standing board member. Do you realize he was first elected to the board in 1999?
Wow. That's incredible.
21 years that he's
Wow.
been on the board. I mean, he did not graduate from Ponca City Public Schools, but he had a daughter that graduated from Ponca City Public Schools. Well, she went through school and has long been graduated after 21 years. And Don represents Ward 5, and actually his seat was up for re-election, and filing period was in December, and he ran unopposed, so we're not going to be having a board election in February or April, depending on if we have a runoff or not. He's won several awards, OSSBA awards, Oklahoma School Board Association awards for his commitment and his excellence of serving on the board. He is the voice of experience on the board. He knows all about our properties, been through many of our bond elections, so he's a great volunteer and a great advocate for our school. Also on our board, we have Dr. David Kincaid. He runs the Kincaid Veterinary Clinic. He represents Ward 4. He's been on the board since 2006, and he has served as the president 3 times. And if you don't know David's a very caring person. It doesn't matter any time that I talk to him about anything, he brings up one of our students or one of our employees and says what a fantastic Wildcat they are, and he really loves our school. He's a POHI graduate as well, and he has grandchildren who are in the system, and he attends, well, all of them do attend a lot of our extracurricular activities. Not only do they spend a lot of time, but they're out there supporting our kids, and they're at the school or in our activities. We also have Judy Troop. Judy was elected in 2004 and represents Ward 3. Judy is also a POHI graduate, and she has grandchildren in Ponca City Public Schools. Currently, Judy serves as our Region 3 director for our area schools in several counties. She serves as Garfield, Grant, Kay, Noble, Pawnee, and Payne counties. And we meet twice a year as county boards and have some training, and she serves as one of the directors of that. And Judy is also a Ponca City graduate, and what's unique about Judy, she actually is a retired Ponca City Public Schools teacher.
Wow.
So she gets the teaching and learning aspect. I mean, because she has actually been in that role before, so she really has a unique perspective. And then our newest board member is Nancy Zimmershed. She was elected in 2017, so she's been on the board 3 years now. She represents Ward 2. She serves on the board curriculum committee, as does Judy. We can only have 2 on a committee, because if we have 3 on a committee, then we have a quorum. So we have to maintain our committees to 2. She works for Jupiter Sulphur here in Ponca City, and she is also a graduate. So 4 of our 5 board members are graduate of Ponca City High School. And Nancy has 2 of her own children who currently attend school. So she really knows what's going on because of her students, so on a daily basis.
Well, what's so amazing is all of those board members have busy lives already.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
And they still commit so much time and energy and effort to Ponca City
True
Public Schools.
Community leaders serve our district well. And it's not just our teachers. It's our students and our community, and they do an excellent job. Lots of hours.
Lots of hours. Well, the January Board of Education meeting continued with reports, and there were quite a few reports.
Oh, only 2 this time.
Okay.
Sometimes we have several, but we do the building assessment reports, and we have one of our site principals or 2 each board meeting come in, and something that we do is we track our data. We want to know where our students are growing and to drive our instruction and what we need to work on to help them grow as a student academically, and they come in and they share their data, their state testing data, and their formative data. I mean, we can't just rely on state testing data data. We don't know what it's broken down to, or sometimes those kids aren't even with us, so we've got to look at our current data. State testing was from the year before, and we take a look at our data and see what areas our students need to grow, and then they also give the board and the community their action plan on what they're going to do to ensure academic growth and social well-being of their students. So it's always an interesting report, and the board then can ask questions. So those reports were from Denton Long, from East Middle School, and Stacy Satry, West Middle School. So it was middle school night, Monday night.
The consent agenda and monthly financial reports, of course, that is part of every Board of Education meeting. And how did it go this time?
Pretty routine. Of course, we talk over the financial report in depth, line by line, in the Finance Committee. The consent agenda maybe has it's for contracts under 10,000 or something that has no monetary value, but just that our board knows it's going on. And we go through all of those, and if there's any questions, we ask those, but there's typically never a question on any consent agenda item. Also lists our fundraisers, it's board policy that our board needs to know what fundraisers are going on, and so we can answer questions about that. But that's just a typical part of the board meeting.
Now, the bigger contracts that are over $10,000, those get a little more attention and careful consideration. And a lot of these have to be, they're reoccurring type thing.
They are, and by law, if a contract is over $10,000, it has to have its own separate agenda item. So our contracts over $10,000 were our Power School subscription, and probably a lot of our patrons are familiar with Parent Portal. It is our student information system where we keep the academic records, attendance, addresses, parent information, and we have to have that to function. So our yearly contract for our subscription with Power School. We also, our board took consideration and approved our Microsoft licensing subscription, which we use for all of our district laptops, desktops, servers, so big thing. Once a month we have professional development, and we believe in providing opportunities for our teachers to learn and grow as an instructor. And something that we really focus on is Kagan cooperative learning. And it is actually an education structure in which there are specific activities that get students engaged, where they're talking about their learning, where they're having to cooperate with each other and collaborating. And it can be focused on the content area or just on team building, social skills. And we're bringing in an instructor on the Friday before spring break, which is March 13th, and we're going to offer to 60 participants. And we take a lot of our staff to Kagan week-long trainings too, and they'll give up their summers or their breaks or whatever. So good information, good professional development. Then our board took action on the agreement with Rick Scott Construction, one of our construction managers, on the HAL elevator modernization project. And in the HAL is at the high school. We have an elevator over there, and it's old. It needs to be replaced. So it needs to be updated, and replacing an elevator is quite expensive. And it was actually part of a bond project that we were going to finish up last year. We only had one bidder, and the price was just so sky high, we put it off until this year. And Rick Scott's going to be the construction manager, and it's just a standard agreement between the owner and the construction company, and it also includes the guaranteed maximum price for the project. So that has to be board approved as well.
Very good. Taking action on bids for the HAL elevator project, you talked about that. Then you went into executive session. Obviously, you can't discuss details of that. ratification and renewal of the superintendent's contract.
January is a big time for superintendents. That's,
Yeah.
I do go into executive session and then I come out and they talk about my evaluation, and our board members great about giving me feedback on ways to improve and things that they like and things like that.
So
And
how did you do? Did you do okay?
well, I had plan B in case I needed it.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you do fantastic work.
It was my mom I talked to my mom every Saturday, and she said, you have board meeting coming up this Monday, right? And I said, yeah. She goes, anything big going on? I said, well, my contract to renew. And she goes, well, that is big.
That's a big deal.
So anyway, and I thought maybe it wouldn't take very long, and they were in there just a really long time. And I looked at Mr. Layton and I said, well, this is taking a little longer. They're just great. They're just real detailed.
Oh,
so
good.
I was renewed, so
Oh, fantastic.
here I am.
All right, good. Good. That's a relief. This reminder here.
Monday
on the
the
list.
20th, we're having a professional development day. And, we talked about bringing in presenters. Well,
Right.
occasionally, we talk about our data. Our teachers need time to get together to look at that data and determine, build their intervention groups, make plans for students who need some extra help in whatever the area is. So that's what Monday is, but it's also going to be a special day. That means there's no kids, just
Right.
our staff will be here. But we are bringing in, you may have seen it on Facebook, we are bringing in a gentleman named Chad Cargill, who is an expert about providing students strategies to improve their ACT score.
Oh, wow.
He's very motivating. He has taken the ACT 5-6 times and has improved his score by 8 to 10 points, which is a lot for the ACT. We are going to be having students who it's their typical day off who have enrolled for this Chad Cargill one-day session, and it's going to be upstairs in this building in the seminar room. So we're real excited about having our juniors in to who have enrolled for that class. So it's gotten a lot of publicity, and we actually took registrants through the 14th. We offered scholarships if someone, it was a $30 fee, and if it wasn't a good time for the cost, we offered scholarships for that. So we're looking forward to that. So the building will be a buzz with students, even though it's a professional development day.
Yeah, and the rest of the students of Ponca City Public Schools will be out of school.
That's right.
On Monday the 20th for that professional development day. And what a wonderful way to kick off 2020, the January Board of Education meeting. Our thanks to Superintendent Shelley Arrott. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this edition. This is your monthly update, your monthly in-depth report on the Board of Education meeting. And we'll do it again next month. Thank you for watching.